heard of the Salem witch trials at some point in your life, whether it's in a movie, book, TV show, or just falling down an internet rabbit hole. If you haven't, get out from under that rock because it's a pretty interesting time in U.S. history. Spoiler alert, it's not how it's often portrayed in media. But to get the full picture, let's start at the beginning. The Salem witch trials started in the spring of 1692 when young girls of Salem Village, Massachusetts, claimed to be possessed by a devil and started accusing women in the village of witchcraft, which led to mass hysteria spreading rapidly throughout the village. The trials went on for months, and many were accused to the point that jails in Salem became overwhelmed, which leads me to a common misconception. Many believe that the death toll was a lot higher than it actually was. Only about 25 people died in total. 5 died in prison, 19 hanged, and 1 man was crushed by boulders, so no, there wasn't anyone burnt at the stake, at least not in Salem. Although being the most well-known, Salem was not the only witch hunt happening around that time, as there were many happening all over the colonies at that time. For example, there was a witch hunt in Hartford, Connecticut about 3 decades before the Salem trials that started after a young girl named Elizabeth Kelly died under mysterious circumstances, leading to her parents accusing their neighbor, Goodwife Iris, of witchcraft. Unlike Salem, only 4 people died as a result of the Hartford trials. Salem witch trials had a lasting impact on American history and society as a whole, with instances like the Red Scare and Hollywood blacklist being eerily similar to the witch trials. And even modern-day cancel culture relies heavily on the same principles of mass hysteria and scapegoating that accused so many during the Salem witch trials. There's also a lot of media depicting the Salem witch trials, including Arthur Miller's play, The Crucible, and more indirectly, but a personal favorite of mine, Hocus Pocus. Could something like the Salem witch trials happen today? Possibly, but it's incredibly unlikely as we grew more accepting as a society. And if it were to happen, those kids would most likely just face internet backlash, unless people were actually harmed. If you ever visit Salem, Massachusetts one day, first of all, lucky, and second, there's a pretty cool historical site about the Salem witch trials that tells about the trials, as well as the victims and their stories, as well as having the opportunity to take a tour and watch reenactments, which are pretty cool if you ask me. Now to wrap it all up, here's 5 wickedly fun facts about the Salem witch trials, which you may or may not find disturbing. 1. Tituba, a slave from Barbados, was the first to admit to witchcraft, and Bridget Bishop was the first to be executed. 2. In addition to the 19 people, 2 dogs were also hanged. 3. In addition to women, men, and children as young as 4 were also accused. 4. The trials only stopped after the governor's wife was accused. 5. 2 out of the 5 casualties were babies, which honestly is very sad.